That move is completely invincible. What's going on, folks? I'm AutoMattock. I'm going to talk about this whole MVCI kit and caboodle shindig. So there's a lot of I think every streamer or anybody who's even who purchased the game already, people are poaching them. People came to my stream and other people's streams I watch. Hey, is this game good? It looks like crap. Blah blah blah. Chill. What are you doing playing this game? This game sucks. But the truth is, so far I've had a really good time trying to digest it, process, and see what it's worth. I do agree that visually it's not exactly easy on the eyes. Some of the characters I think they did a pretty good job, but yeah, just look at Spencer's profile pic. Ain't nobody swiping right for his face. That is a face only a mother can love. But the game mechanics, which is kind of the whole point, and I guess that it really depends on what you value in your game. The game mechanics seem really interesting to me. It's been within the one day. In fact, during the beta, I could see the potential of the game, and it was like almost begrudgingly like, yeah, it's gonna be a fun game to play. It's gonna be enjoyable to learn, and I do have some concerns with the spectator point of view. If it's hard to appreciate some of the more advanced tactics, which are still, in my opinion, yet to be discovered, it's going to be hard for that kind of person to appreciate what could happen when it's hard to ignore the aesthetic value of the game itself. But that aside, again, I have been enjoying trying to figure out what this game is about, and my current assessment is that this game will be incredibly zoning intensive. Not unlike Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but you won't see the same forced situations a lot of people describe as like, you're not playing anymore, I'm watching a movie, because actually this may change over time, but as of right now, the way knockdowns work, you have options because you have the forward recovery roll covers so much distance, so it almost forces you to respect that space and not continuously pressure your corner in the opponent. Pressure your opponent in the corner. So I'll demonstrate what that looks like. I think this is going to be a very important aspect of the game. So when you knock your opponent down and then they forward roll, they go a long distance and they can block as they get up. As far as I can see, there's not a punishment for this other than to try to maintain that position. So if I just get a generic knockdown, for example, I have to move backwards to address this forward roll. So then, in the case that they don't forward roll, maybe they back roll or they don't recover at all, and then I create that space, that's taking away from my offense. But it's fine because projectiles, I feel, are going to be so integral to the whole portion of the game and making things happen. It's very interesting, all the different moving parts. How meter builds. Meter does not build, as far as I can see, unless you're actually being hit or hitting your opponent. There is chip damage, but chip damage deteriorates depending on if you're using the same movement. Advancing guard will reduce the amount of chip damage and reflect projectiles. So again, with this theme of projectiles being almost like a required condition to approaching your opponent, there are answers. There are immediate answers to it. So it's going to create mind games where your opponent might be waiting for me to do something like just my heavy kick. My heavy kick that doesn't even do chip damage, but you can reflect it back to me. So if you're looking for this animation, it causes a bit of hesitation. You might stay still for a second. So your mind is going to be working in different areas. And you're going to be reading at certain portions of the screen what could potentially happen, but it's going to cause a lot of hesitation. But more importantly, it's going to cause a lot of creativity. If I think you're looking for this fireball, I might do something. I might change my approach. But since you're anticipating something else that you have to react to, it opens up different angles of attack. I think that's going to be very interesting. And so then there's small quirks, such as when I do the bullet from a distance, it doesn't reflect. And you can tell the difference between the advancing guard, if it's going to reflect or not, because it'll be blue if it's not like a just frame advancing guard. I think this will be an incredibly important aspect of this game. All of it because the projectiles are really important. And as I demonstrated before, there's answers to projectiles, such as Chris's prone position, and then the tackle is completely invincible. And I think it's even invincible during the active frames as well. Obviously, you can punish the recovery of it, but that's incredible. And it's safe, and it causes a wall bounce. It's crazy, and I can tell it's 100% intentional. So that's enough emphasis on the zoning mechanics. You'll just see plenty of it. Now, to give you an idea of what is capable of happening in the system. Right now I'm playing Rocket, Raccoon, and Chris team, just experimenting with it because I had the idea of traps and just having traps out there and tagging in, putting more traps there, and then I want to see how it boils down. And then Rocket Raccoon has like a built-in assist to Groot, so I wanted to see if I put traps down, have Groot out there, and then put Chris in, put more traps down, zone, and continue to just have things on the screen. I thought that would be a really interesting concept, and it's proving to be a lot of fun in just learning how to do it and getting the muscle memory down. So there's going to be a lot of things that. And then there's going to be conversions. What if my traps actually hit my opponent? What's the best thing to do? And it seems like a lot of characters have this generic, you know, launch combo into put them in the air and then go down the line, and then you have this. And then there's ways to optimize it. But it seems like, referring back to that casual appeal as far as playing, you can always have that kind of combo available to you. It's not optimal, but it's always going to be there, and that's going to cause a ground bounce. I know I'm a little bit all over the place, but there's just so much to talk about with this game. There's so many different things, so many avenues for creativity. So, you have a ground bounce, and then you have a wall bounce, such as that tackle. This tackle here is incredible. The prone position tackle will also cause a wall bounce, and then you're afforded one wall bounce and one ground bounce, as far as I know, per combo. So you can do like a launch combo, and if I try to do the same thing, right? If I try to do the same thing and wall bounce again, it'll stop that portion of the combo. Let me see if I can do these day one combos. Okay, I gotta time this a little bit better. There we go. And now I can't actually do that again because the ground bounce has been consumed. Same thing works for the wall bounce, as far as I know. Now, insofar, so that kind of touches on the basic combo systems. There's going to be more intricate things you can do. What's going to be more intricate is when you actually combine that with the tag canceling. Now, as far as I can see, there's two ideas for the tag canceling. It's where you can actually hit them with your tag cancel, and when you just come in and block, and you can also jump away, just like in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, where you had the up-back blocking, where you don't really have to address anything. And there's a few ways to punish that. Maybe I'll get into that in a bit. There's going to be so much to talk about, and I'm kind of winging it. So, you can tag cancel off of anything, as far as I know. Anything. Just, you do a button in the air, you can tag cancel off. If you do a shotgun in the air, you can tag cancel off of it. Now, the thing is that when you tag cancel off of nothing, it seems like the other character, the outgoing character, is lingering for about 2 seconds. It's probably around there. But if you cancel off of something else, if I do anything, it looks like it's about 4 seconds, about double the time they're left in almost like a recovery state. Now, during this state, you can't call them back. So if you're canceling off of something, that's a little bit of theory. If you're canceling off of something and you're unsuccessful, and then your opponent blocks, you're not able to tag cancel again to either continue pressure or even keep yourself safe. So I think that's part of the basics of the tag canceling system. Now, one of my initial ideas in playing this game, I thought that it would be centralized around, and it is, but not in the way I thought in terms of punishing. I thought it would be punishing the tag cancels. Now, it's not working as I thought that I originally thought it would, because this attack is so fast, and you know, it may be that the opponent is negative as they're doing this, and they don't have an opportunity to continue attacking. But since they have the option to block, it's going to turn into some craziness, right? Because if you do this attack, and then your opponent does an invincible attack, and then tag cancels that invincible attack, it's going to punish your outgoing character, and then allow you to have pressure with your incoming character, because you're doing an invincible move. So in that case, if you tag cancel and then jump away, you might be able to deal with both of those things. It's very hard to set this up and show you an example, but I'll attempt it. I'll attempt it. So I should have this programmed to, I think, program 2. And then I gotta make sure I hit the play button. I think it's this one. Damn, I hit the wrong one. Okay, I just gotta record it. This won't take any time at all, I promise. Now I'm blocking. And now I want to play it. And you can see that I cannot punish him. Now, I think fast command grabs can be the solution to an incoming character blocking sometimes. I think maybe it can work sometimes. Now, if you have a character like Hagar, and then you try to command grab the incoming character, it's too slow. They can still jump away. But if they commit to the attack portion, then you will grab them out of it. Same with an invincible attack. But it seems like a character like Spencer can actually command grab the incoming character. You'll disregard the outgoing character, but you at least get some form of punishment for them, and you'll ignore their pressure. But that's if they don't do an attack. If you do a command grab and then they do the attacking tag cancel, it counter hits you out of your command grab. So it seems like it's just a freeform system that just allows you to continuously be doing something. But what I thought was the key was punishing the outgoing character, and that doesn't seem to be strongly the case. Even if I do something like jump over him and then try to punish the character that's behind him, it's still very difficult to get a lot of damage, and I'm leaving myself vulnerable to the character that's out. They're not just going to ignore me. So then if I try to do something somewhat safer, if I just try to hit them with a bullet, right? That's it. I didn't do much damage at all. I hit the outgoing character, but it seems like you're really just delaying the time that they have available to tag back into them. So it's really not that, it's not, dare I say, functioning I thought the way that it would. So you're not really, you're like taking a small shot on them, and you're delaying the time that they can tag back in just by a little bit. So I think that, and even Magnum, they're gonna block the Magnum shot. The opponent, the character up front, I'm not able to pierce through them with my Magnum. They're just gonna block it, unless they're crouching and it's their character does it. Maybe there's something with that. But even if I hit them with a Magnum, I can't OTG them again. It's not like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So it's gonna be really tricky. But in that way, I think it's gonna be not overpowering, maybe, but it'll still offer a lot of creative mechanics. So with that in mind, you can tag cancel anything, such as a super. Like with Rocket Raccoon, I can tag cancel in Chris, and then I have all this time to set up shop, right? While Rocket Raccoon is doing his super. There's so many things you can do here. And then this idea translates also to actually hitting your opponent. So let's see, something that I kind of conceptualized earlier today is just that, and maybe I'll try to, let's see if I can do the combo. Let's just see if I can do it. And then you can tag cancel here, right? And now they're stuck as long as Chris is hitting him. So eventually I'll come up with some maybe I'll put some traps down during that motion, and then I'll combo into something like a level 3 if it's going to kill them. There's going to be so many different venues of opportunity, and I'm really intrigued by what everybody's going to come up with. There's going to be so many different ways. The Power Stones that's a whole different ball game. It's going to be interesting. But my concern is that, will it be interesting for everybody? I hope that this game will be easy to appreciate without being necessarily initiated into understanding how fighting games work. Because visually, it's not doing particularly its job in a lot of areas, to be fair. But I will be playing this game a lot, big time. I'll be streaming, playing it, analyzing it, and finding everything I can. Because it does give me shades of Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and that was pretty, I want to say, established within my willingness to investigate that game, and I did pretty well, as in top 8 Evo competitor, and I've done well at majors. So I hope that those skills can also translate to this game, and then I'll also enjoy it as well. So that'll be good. So that's it for now. I hope we learned something, and I'll be playing this game a lot on my Twitch channel, and that's it.